Hi, I'm Mimi, and I'm actually not in my sewing studio today because it's so cold outside. I brought in my home sewing machine indoors. I just want to be by the fireplace and be cozy. In this video, I am going to show you a patchwork technique, Jogakbo, which is a Korean patchwork technique using the Ssamsol stitched method, which is a reversible stitch method that can be done by a machine or by hand. And these techniques are often used to make Bojagi, which is a Korean traditional wrapping cloth, a decorative cloth, uh, a multi-use tablecloth used to wrap gifts or, wall hangings. So let's get started. To use the machine to patchwork, just get the two pieces of fabric, and what you want to do is eyeball, doesn't have to be exact, eyeball 1/4 inch here, seam allowance, overlap them together like this, and then we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch along here, so you end up with 1/2 inch on one side and a 1/4 inch on the other side. So I'm going to just eyeball it. This one you do have to iron, so to get a flat edge. Okay, and back to the iron. When you iron, you want to first iron, well, first open it up and iron a fold in. On the longer piece, the 1/2 inch, fold that in half, like that first. And then we're going to iron like that. Iron it on both sides. So you do get a flat, see there, sometimes there's a fold here, you want the seam flat. And now we're going to sew along that edge, the folded edge. And there you have it. That's the machine way. For the hand stitching method, you want to iron one side with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, folded, and one side a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then put the pieces together with the folded edges facing each other like this on the inside. Line them up. I like to put a couple of pins. And here. Get some thread. I like to use a different color thread, kind of a complementary, because I just like the stitches to show. I feel like that's part of the beauty, especially if I'm spending all this time hand stitching. I'm gonna knot twice because since I am using linen, I need a larger knot, and sometimes just like the single is not big enough for it won't go through. Oh, it didn't match up, so I'm gonna make them join like that. Okay. I am going to start from in between this bottom piece right here, so the knot's hidden. And we're going to do a whip stitch. I like to have them closer together. It just looks so pretty. Whip stitched. Oops. Just make sure that they're even. I'm aiming for, as far as the stitches go, a little more than an eighth. I don't know what that is. Make sure they're even. I mean, you could do them further apart, but I just love the way it looks when it's closer together. When you need to knot, just go in between again to one of the layers, the opposite layer of where you ended up, and wrap around 3, 4 times and pull through. And I like to hide the tail in between the layers. Make sure that the needle's not going through each of the sides, that it's really in between. And there. This is the first part of the seam. The next step is to go and iron this fold to line up, this raw edge to line up to this fold. So basically what we're going to end up with is that. But yeah, iron this fold here and then iron it that way. Now let's stitch the second side. So we folded that under and we're just going to kind of sandwich it together again. Go in between one of the layers right here. And stitch. you open it up and you have this reversible seam that looks good from both sides. I'm going to iron this out a little bit here. There you have it.